What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. And today's title is Black Excellence and a History of Low Expectations. Black Excellence and a History of Low Expectations. So the term Black excellence was a term created to make people believe that Black folks were doing something that was abnormal and that it was special. When in actuality, Black people don't have a monopoly on anything in the world. Every race of people have invented, created, produced. Everybody's done it. Black people are not special in that regard. But the term Black excellence denotes that Black people are doing something better than everyone else. You hear things like Black people can dance better, or maybe they can cook better, or play sports better, things like that. But to me, that's all relative. There are athletes in every group of people. There are people that can cook in every group, people that can dance. If you go on social media, you will see literally every race of people doing what Black folks had a monopoly on for so many years. And I don't believe that Black folks had a monopoly on it. I just believe that it was just something put out there. And most other folks weren't bragging about it. If you go to Asians in particular, Asians master everybody's cuisine. So an Asian group or family or whatever may own a soul food restaurant. I mean, they study and master what they're doing. I believe that every group of people in the world have their own unique gifts. Black people's gifts is a gift of influence. White people is order and structure, stability. I believe that the Asians are, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but obedience, discipline, following rules, etc. Hispanics are family and community. Any other group I don't know, but right off the top of my head, those are the groups that I can name and what they do. But my point is that every group of people have a gift to offer the world. But this term Black excellence makes you believe that Black people are doing something that nobody else is doing. And you can't name anything that Black people are doing that nobody else does. A lot of these terms that we've grown up with, they're really anti-white terms. So in other words, if a white person does something that's good, you'll say, oh, it's because they have white privilege. And if a Black person does something that's good, you say, oh, it's excellent. You see, and really, this stuff is rooted in, if we take it all the way down to its bare bones, it's really just being anti-God. White people are not God, but white people represent God on the earth because they are the standard creators, meaning that people in the world, and people know this because there's only mass migration into countries that are ran by white people. There's only mass migration into countries that are ran by white people with Western values. But the more those white countries lose their Western values, the more immigrants they let in. See, this whole time, it's been a culture war. It's been a war on culture. It hasn't been about race, it's been about culture. And if you look and you think about it now, just think about Black culture and just imagine if Black culture had a 400-year head start. Like right now, Black culture is pretty much maybe 70 to 100 years old. Imagine if Black culture was 400 years old and it was unchecked. Could you imagine? Just think for a second of Black culture going unchecked for 400 years, and tell me where the world would be today. AF Health said, "Did you make this up, or did you learn this from somewhere?" I would say that I got these revelations from the Holy Spirit. My journey did not start with a video. It didn't really start with a clip. It didn't really start with my journey kind of started honestly through the Holy Spirit. Then things started coming to me, but the Holy Spirit spoke to me about being Black. This is back in 2020. And that's when the veil started to be lifted from my eyes. So I know that the reason why most folks can't see what I'm saying is because they walk in the flesh. That's all. They just walk in. They just carnal. They don't, seek anything higher than what they can see, taste, touch, and smell. But this journey started with the Holy Spirit. That's how I know that what I'm doing is the right thing, because I didn't choose this at all. I was just like obligatory, like the rest of you all. I didn't know anything. I was caught up in the propaganda. I was caught up in the program. I didn't know anything, that was going on. I didn't. So this revelation truly came from God. And so did I make this stuff up? No, I did not make it up. I would say that it's just the truth. And I don't think anybody owns the truth. I think we just accept it or we reject it. Oh, as it relates to the different races and their gifts, well, I just observe how they behave. I just observe the impact that these races have on the world. That's all. I just did it through observation. So when I observe Asian people are very obedient. They're very loyal. They're very, they follow the rules. That's why they're the model for the new global order. They said that Asian people are the model for the new global citizen. And again, to me, it's a gift to have people that are able to uphold and enforce the rules. Black people's gifts are obviously influenced because when Black folks do certain things, people tend to pay attention and watch and observe, listen. Now, it could be because Black folks are being used as propaganda tools and they're thrust in front of everybody's face. I don't know. But as it stands right now, Black people are the influential group of the world. White people obviously represent standard creators, order, stability, social order. These are what white people create. In places where white people are absent, you don't want to live there. And matter of fact, when you go to travel to certain countries, you go to countries that allow you to go to places where there are quote unquote white structures in place. You're not going to the wilds and just going anywhere and just roaming free. You're not going to go to Haiti and kick it with the natives. You're not going to do it. You're going to go to Haiti and go to a resort, a nice hotel. So again, I just say all this to say that Black excellence as a term, it is an anti-white term, because Black excellence denotes that Black people are doing something that no one else is doing. And when Black folks say Black excellence just mean that Black folks are doing what's normal, what everybody else is doing. If a Chinese person invents something, nobody says Chinese excellence. If a Hispanic person invents something, no one says Hispanic excellence. If a white person invents something, they say they stole it from somebody that was Black. I mean, so there's no, such thing as quote unquote excellence. But again, let's continue. Lady B says, it was strange to me at first, but my faith in God kept me to this point and is still revealing things to me. Exactly. And she said this happened to her back in 2016. Exactly. Like I say, this didn't come from any book I read or anything I saw or nothing. This actually just came literally the Holy Spirit talking to me and telling me that this quote unquote blackness is not only is it not real, it's not good. It's bad. I even remember when back in 2016, I was like, Black Lives Matter. I said, no, my life matters. Like, I'm not like, it just didn't sit right with my spirit. The whole Black Lives Matter thing did not sit right with my spirit at all. And I thank God for that my spirit wasn't to the point where it was just totally subdued by my flesh. You know, most Black people's spirit, the Bible say that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Most Black people put so much energy into their physical that their spirit is almost crushed. You know, you imagine a fight between a heavyweight that's a heavyweight boxer. It's maybe about 250 and fighting against a featherweight that's about maybe 130. You know, it's just your spirit is just under so much fleshly subjection to where it can't even give you any kind of revelation. The Holy Spirit can't even speak. It's crazy. Arsenio Roberts said, me and my lady got into it again because I put you on, Blanche. And again, you all, if you all want to keep your relationships, do not put me on with your women, because most of you have married women or with women that are feminist. Most Black women are programmed and propagandized. I'm sorry. About 95 to 97% of them are. So if you're with a Black woman right now, 9.5 or 9.7 times out of 10, she's going to be indoctrinated. So do not play me in front of your woman. I had a Black woman tell me a couple of years ago, she's older. She told me, she said, you are not going to be able to be with a Black woman. And I said, why not? This is what she said, Black woman, older Black woman. She said, because you have too much character. This is what an older Black woman told me who was married. She said, you're not going to be able to find a Black woman because you have too much character. That's what she told me. And I said, are you crazy? She was serious as a heart attack and 2 strokes. And so the reason why she said that was not because Black women don't have any character. It's because Black women, if they have to choose between following Christ and following the Democratic Party and following the Black church and following celebrities and following a liberal agenda and following feminism, and if they have a choice between Christ and those things, more times than not, they're going to pick those things. And that's just where Black women are. Black women are the face of this agenda that's ultimately going to lead to the Antichrist. Now, I'm not saying that all Black women are this way, but the majority of Black women, if we follow any kind of measurable statistics on studies or, you know, voting patterns or everything, the majority of Black women are the ones pushing the agenda. They're the ones pushing the Democratic Party. They're the ones pushing the Black church. They're the ones pushing education. Like, they're the ones pushing the community. They're the ones pushing it. And so it is going to be very difficult for a man, we'll just say a Black man that does not fall into the propaganda and programming. It is going to be more difficult because when he goes out, he's looking for 3% of Black women. And probably, if we just get realistic, you're probably looking towards 3% anyway, just because they probably have to be God-fearing as well. So I believe that probably most men are looking at 3% of the population, regardless of race, because if you want a God-fearing woman, that's going to be difficult to find as well. But definitely a lot more difficult in the Black community. Why am I seeing so many black women lately on social media that are into astrology? It's alarming. I saw last year, and I talked about the amount of black women that are into astrology, witchcraft, sorcery. You wouldn't believe it. You would not believe the amount of black women that are into all of these things, and they're not going to tell you. But when you talk to them, matter of fact, let me go to a video. Let me try to find this video real quick. Let me go back. Let me cancel that. Okay, let me go. Let me see. What's today? Today is the 27th, maybe the 25th. Maybe the 25th. Maybe the 25th. I'm trying to go into my file and see. There was a there was a video of a conversation, and it was pretty accurate, if I must say. What's today's? Let me go. So the 25th, maybe it was the 23rd. Maybe it was the 23rd. And I know I saved that video. Maybe it was I feel like it was the 25th, though. I really do. It was like a cartoon. I just don't see it, y'all. I'm sorry about that, but it would have been perfect for this time. I thought I would have had it up here. Is this it?
Really? Today.
Nope. Nope. That's not it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't see it, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't see it. But anyway, it was a guy on a date, and he was talking to a young lady. Let me see something. This is it.
So right here behind me.
Nope. And he was talking to a young lady, about, I guess, about Jesus. And she went from saying, yeah, I believe in Jesus. And then it started spiraling out of control. So talking about astrology and all kind of stuff, man.
From this flight.
No, not that one. Sorry about that, y'all. I thought I had that video, man. I don't. Today is the 20th. That was Tuesday. Let me see, Sunday again. And I know as soon as I get off social media, I'm gonna see it right in the folder. It's usually how it works. But yeah, anyway, I can't find it. I'm sorry, y'all. It was a good video. But yeah, a lot of black women are into, witchcraft, sorcery. I had a young lady tell me one time that God wouldn't answer her prayers, so she went to Satan. She asked Satan. So I mean, it's just and I expect nothing less because where's the leadership? Where's the leadership? Who's leading Black women? But I'll post it later, y'all. I'll post it. But let's get started though, man. Let's get started, y'all. So really, when it comes to, you know, the history of low expectations, the problem is that the bar is set low. And the bar is set low because everything is measured through race. Everything is measured to race. So how something bounces off of racism, does it affirm racism or does it triumph over racism? That's the measuring stick. It's not anything that's actually tangible. It's just really subjective, how you feel. So if this person does something and it seems to get white people upset, then it's excellence. If this person does something and white people may love it, it could be excellent as well, but it's not really anything that's really tangible. And again, it goes back to idol worship, and it goes back to, you know, all of these things. But I really wish I've had that video, but let me get into it. Let me just find this real quick. Hold on.
White woman who leads a Black-led sport and celebrated here. I want to show a light on Black women. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve. They've given so much to this sport and the community and society as a whole, and their value is undeniable.
So that was Paige Bucher, but she said that Black women don't get the publicity that they deserve. I would ask you all a question: where don't you see Black women? Tell me where you don't see them. They're on TV, they're on cable, social media, billboards, magazines. Where don't you see Black women? Where, like, I'm serious, where don't you see Black women? Listen to her. And this is what I mean by Black excellence. Because the bar is low. The bar is so low that just being Black gives you credit and credibility.
As a white woman who leads a Black-led sport and celebrated here, I want to show a light on Black women. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve. They've given so much to this sport and the community and society as a whole, and their value is undeniable.
So again, the problem is that people are saying things that are not true. And they're saying these things about Black people. So there's one video I posted where a young lady said that, you know, if you're Black, then you are magical or something, she said. She said something to that effect of, you know, hold on, let me get over here. I'm sorry. She said, if you're Black, you're automatically magical. Hold on, let me. Let me find that. Oh. Where is the magical Negro? Oh. Well, while I'm looking for it, I'm going to play this one.
The video was muted, but I just will recreate it. This is a list of things we use today that was created to disenfranchise black people. Starting out strong with insurance. Black people is actually the very first capital to be insured in this country. Next, we can talk about to-go plates. Back when it was no longer legal for for white people to say they don't want black people in their establishments, it was like, all right, we give them some plates and they can get the fuck on. Next is credit scores. Because before black people attempted to get credit in such a large amount, it was just open, willy-nilly, so much so that there was a fucking stock crash. Credit scores were created to make it hard for black people to secure a home loan. And back in the day, they actually came with a requirement of a reference, which leads us into our next thing. References. References was created back when vagrancy laws prohibited black people from being unemployed and made them sign labor contracts. In order to have a labor contract and be employed by a white planter, you had to have references from your last, basically owner. Mind you, these were free people, but free was used extremely loosely. Next is invoices. Treadmills. Now, the treadmill was used as a punishment for slaves, and it was actually a machine. They called it the everlasting staircase or something like that. And it was like it churned. I think it was like corn and cotton. Like it processed corn and cotton. But if you look it up, it's basically a large, almost like Stairmaster, if you will. But that's where the treadmill derived from. Next, college tuitions. Next is bar exams and exams alike. Before, you could actually enter any profession if you just went to college and you consider yourself a lawyer. But once black people started doing it, yeah, they had to put some type of other requirement to make it harder for us to get in there. Next is butter pecan ice cream. Picnics. A lot of people don't know, but picnics actually took place on Sundays for a reason. A lot of these picnics took place outside of a black church or near a black church. And it wasn't like they would lynch one black person. They would actually kidnap people throughout the week, send their postcards throughout the week, and people would come from out of town to watch people be lynched en masse. Sometimes up to 12 people would be lynched at once. Next is master bedrooms. And lastly, paramedics. The only reason we have a system that we know today to be paramedics is because black people had no way to get to the hospital and no hospital to get to because it was prohibited. Hospitals was only used for white people. And there was no like ambulance, right? So paramedics, the very first paramedics in the country were black.
You know what's funny about what she said? The majority of the planet believes she's telling the truth. And everything she said was a lie. Everything. The majority of the planet believes what she said was true. And everything she said was a lie. And so you believe that if black people went through all of that, then just being black is a mission accomplished. I keep telling you that the standards are low because the standard was based on a lie. It wasn't based on truth. The standard was not based on truth. It was based on a lie. What she's saying is not true. It's a lie. It was she rattled off so many lies. I couldn't even keep up. A realtor. Happy birthday, realtor. I know it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. But and when I'm talking about, so we do have some women in here that are, good women. So I'm not going, but I'm just talking about, if we're talking about the community, most black women sound like this woman right here. Right? That's how most of them sound. Just, like I said before, the most programmed and propagandized group are Black women. And it's because they're not under any leadership. So there's nothing filtering the information. There's no man saying that's foolishness, that's safe. There's none of that. So they're receiving everything from the world with no filter. It's just real, honestly, it's like children. It's honestly like a child. It's like a child sitting in front of a television at about 5 years old every day, and then you at the table talking, they just say out something that's crazy. You know what I mean? And that's what it's like. And so the problem is that because Black men have abandoned their post, now Black women get all of this information from the world and from Satan, pure from, you know, that Peruvian white powder, you know, that Colombian snow. They getting it pure, straight from Poppy and them. It ain't been stepped on. It ain't been nothing. It ain't been cut with nothing. It's just pure. Black women are getting pure propaganda, pure Peruvian and Colombian, Peruvian propaganda and Colombian programming, pure. And they are so indoctrinated, and it's most of them. She just did a whole video with all lies. She'll never get fact checked. She'll never get verified. She'll never get cross-examined. She'll never get called to the carpet. She'll go her whole life being right. And then one day she'll wake up about in her 60s and realize it was all a lie. And realize it was all a lie. But let's continue. Let's continue. Black excellence. Black excellence.
In the field. Bye. Go, no, this way. Go run around the gate. You better not be crying when you get here. What were we working on today?
Double play.
And what else? Turn into run. Sprint. Get back. What do we work on today?
Double play.
And what else?
Turn into.
Thank you very much. It's important to listen and not just be out here. You have to listen. You want to play this game and you want to be good, but you don't want to listen. You understand?
Yes, sir.
It's important to listen. That's why I keep making you do this stuff over and over again, so that way you know it. So even though it's aggravating right now, when you get to the field when it's game time, you're going to know all this stuff and nobody else going to know it. You got it?
Yes, sir.
What does IQ mean?
Baseball knowledge.
You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. You just got to learn to listen. You did a good job today, but you have to learn to listen and remember what's being taught. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. It's all right. You just got to learn to listen. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Once you learn to listen, you'll do better. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now you know who you think had a problem with King Randall in this video. Who do you think had a problem with King Randall in this video? Who do you think? Who do you think was attacking him for this video? Teaching his son how to play baseball, teaching him the fundamentals. Who do you think was upset at the way he was teaching his son? No, Tish, not the mother, because he's married to the mother, not the mother. Y'all are saying it, the Bliggities. And you know why the Bliggities had a problem with this? because this is the problem with the Black community. And this is why the standards are so low, because there's no one there to create the standards. If women create standards, they change moment to moment because they'll be based on how she feels. If a man sets a standard, he's setting the standard for the future. What King Randall is doing is letting his son know that your emotions don't matter. Just because you're crying doesn't mean I'm going to stop practice. Just because you don't like what I'm saying doesn't mean I'm going to stop saying it. Just because you are upset doesn't mean you're going to get your way. This is how you keep Satan out of your bloodline. By preparing your children. This is what I should have got. This is what many other young men should have gotten in their life. I remember going to go stay. I'll play this again. I remember going to go stay with my uncle for a summer. And I remember asking my cousin, I was like, man, when is he going? Is he here every day? I remember. Is he here every day? I'm like, is he going to be here every day? And what I was frustrated with was I could never let my guard down. I was being held accountable for everything. What I was doing, what I was watching, what I wasn't doing, I couldn't relax. The father, the mother is there to nurture and to love. That's the mother. She turns the house into a home. She's supposed to bring peace to the house. But the father is left with the task of giving the child their identity. The father is the one that gives the children their identity. The children know who they really are through the father. They don't get that from the mother. They get that from the dad. And you can usually tell when a person didn't have their father in their life because there's something missing. There's a level of resilience that's not there. It's a level of softness that's there. It's a level of not being able to deal with life's pressures that's there. It's a notion that everything's supposed to be a utopia. The father gives identity. Ms. Graves said, a father teaches respect, discipline, resilience, courage, drive, protection, and provision. That is the makeup of a person, identity. So what he's doing for his son right now, although you bliggedies don't like it, what he's doing for his son right now is giving his son an identity. So that way, when you bliggedies come along and tell his son that he's oppressed, he's not going to listen to you. When Satan comes along and tells his son that he is oppressed, he's not going to listen to him. When the wiggities come by and tell his son that he's oppressed, he's not going to listen to them. Because my father already told me who I was. Just like our father tells us who we are. It's the same thing.
Go run around the field. Bye. Bye. Go, no, this way. Go run around the gate. You better not be crying when you get here. What were we working on today?
Double play.
And what else? Turn into run. Sprint. Get back. What do we work on today?
Double play.
And what else?
Turn into.
Thank you very much. It's important to listen and not just be out here. You have to listen. You want to play this game and you want to be good, but you don't want to listen. You understand?
Yes, sir.
It's important to listen. That's why I keep making you do this stuff over and over again, so that way you know it. So even though it's aggravating right now, when you get to the field when it's game time, you're going to know all this stuff and nobody else going to know it. You got it?
Yes, sir.
What does IQ mean?
Baseball knowledge.
You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. You just got to learn to listen. You did a good job today, but you have to learn to listen and remember what's being taught. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's all right. You just got to learn to listen. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Once you learn to listen, you'll do better. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And this is what the child needs to have his identity fortified. And Black people had a problem with what he's doing. I want to say happy birthday one more time to Realtor. I want you to have a happy birthday. Hope you enjoy yourself today. And all your birthday, I'm not going to say wishes, your birthday prayers come true. Leatherface said he had the same moment with his son in Taekwondo. Doug Johnson said, or when they tell him he's Black and he can show them the crayon and ask, you mean this? Exactly. Identity. If you don't give your child an identity, the world will. If you don't give your child an identity, Satan will. So it is your job as a man to give your child their identity so they know who they are. Talking about Black excellence. That's Black excellence. But really, it's just excellence.
Job is to create hardship for my sons. Do understand that their life is not going to be fun. So for all the people who get upset about how I train my sons in sport.
What's up, Katie? Let me go to my what's ups real quick. What's up, Doug? What's up, making conservatism look cool? What's up, Vintage Goods Willie? What's up, So Infinite? What's up, Miss Graves? What's up, Chuck? What's up, Lady B? What's up, Tierra? What's up, The Winning Walk with Christina? What's up, Tierra Barnes? What's up, AF Health? What's up, Agatis Navi? What's up, Lynn Bell? What's up, Arsenio? Did I say Miss Graves? What's up, The Flaxseed? What's up, Zoom 7K? What's up, Combat Medic? What's up, Pretty Liddy? What's up, Light Free? What's up, LB for LB? What's up, Kenya? What's up, JV Chanel? What's up, Realtor? Happy birthday again. What's up, Keisha being for real? What's up, Brian Nichols? What's up, Katie? Thank you, Will. I see. Hold on. After hearing her list of grievances, my white guilt has been reactivated. Please allow me to throw you some reparations at your channel. Blanche, I'll be ending to Bliggity History Month. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that should be everybody, I think, for the moment. Thank you, Mr. Towns, Martin Towns. Thank you, sir, for the super sticker. Thank you. What's up, Paul? I think that's it. Arita from the Bay, what's up? Thank you, Blanche, on point. Thank you, Arita. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think that's it. Oh, what's up, Calvin Bailey? Thank you so much. That's my boy, Calvin. What's up? Thank you. Appreciate it, man. So they had a problem with King Randall's methods. And again, this is the problem with the black. Oh, my bad. My bad, Miss Jackson. My bad. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. But yeah, what's up, y'all on Instagram? My bad. What's up, Deborah? What's going on? But so the problem is there's no standard. And that's why the expectations are low. And so most black people are irritated with people like myself because I don't give them any excuses. You know, they'll come to me and they'll say, well, Blanche, there's racism, there's oppression, there's slavery, there's police brutality, there's poverty, there's all this. And I'll say, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Either you believe in Jesus or you don't. Period. And Lock with Zaja, she was on a podcast with her husband and she said, either you can do all things through Christ or you can't overcome racism. But you can't have both. So either God is stronger than racism or the white man is the God. Those are your options. That's it. So either you believe in Jesus or you don't. That's it. So if you believe that racism, i.e., white people are oppressing you, then you are an atheist. It's just that simple.
My job is to create hardship for my sons. Do understand that their life is not going to be fun. So for all the people who get upset about how I train my sons in sports, etc., or how I get on to them or how I discipline them, do understand that their life is not going to be fun and they are going to be an adult a lot longer than they're going to be a child. Please understand that they need hardship. And even if your children aren't playing sports to go pro, if they're an artist, etc., push them to do their best anyway, regardless, because they have to understand that everything that they do, they need to be the best at it. Everything that they do, they need to give their all, no matter what it is. So in sports, you learn so many lessons. My sons play baseball and they box. They learn lessons in resilience, failure, success, etc., etc. I am not just going to give them fun. They earn fun. Fun is earned. They get new games and new toys for Christmas. You cannot play them until you do some work for it. Tell me the capitals of different states. Tell me what you learned today. Work out, do some push-ups, etc. This is how they earn fun. We have a lot of fun. We go out of town, we fly different places, we go to amusement parks, etc. But they only get that when they do work. So when he puts some work in the batting cage, that's when we can have fun. When you put in work at school, that's when we have fun. And to be frank, what's more fun than victory? What's more fun than accomplishing your goals? When they're winning baseball games and when they're doing good in boxing, they have fun. They are proud of themselves. I'm teaching my children to do things that make them proud of themselves, not because they're having fun. Most fun that people subscribe to is mostly degenerate stuff.
So you heard King Randall eloquently state how he's trying to prepare his children. And Satan is out there. So you all are raising your children. I'm talking to black people right now. You all are raising your children as if Satan isn't real. You're raising your children to deal with white people. And they're not thinking about you. But you know who is thinking about you all? Satan is. You know who wants your children? Satan does. So you all have raised generation after generation of children who don't fear God. They fear white people. It's satanic, it's demonic, it's sacrilegious, and it's the way of the heathen. You are supposed to raise your children to be the best. How can I prepare my child to succeed in life? Preparing your child to deal with white people is insanity. It's insane. Generations worrying about white people and people getting shot right outside their front door. Babies getting aborted right around the corner. People getting murdered. People getting sexually assaulted. People getting terrorized right outside your front door. And you're talking about, I got to prepare my child to deal with white people. And your children fall victim to this stuff every single day because you all have not prepared them. You've given them a low expectation in their existence. You didn't hold them to a high standard. Jesus would heal somebody and say, now go sin no more. Think about that. Jesus said, I just healed you from your affliction. Now I expect you to go and sin no more. He didn't say you can go sin and come back and pray to me. He didn't say you can go and sin and come wash my feet. He didn't say you can sin and go fast. He didn't say you can sin and make a sacrifice. He said go and sin no more. And this is before he was crucified. So that means the expectation of not sinning was there way before a crucifixion, way before salvation. God held us to a standard of perfection. We are to not sin. But the world tells you that nobody is perfect. And what the world is really saying is, go ahead and sin because everybody else is doing it. I'm telling you that your children are going to get devoured by the wolves if you don't prepare them for what's really out there. And what's really out there is not a skin color. It is Satan. And he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. This is why the standards are low. So if the man isn't in the house, standard low. If the woman is filled with programming and propaganda, standard lower. If the community is trash, standard even lower. And if the culture is satanic and demonic, there's no standard. I went through 4 levels of no standard being established. The end result of that is death. No father, propagandizing program mother, community of trash, and culture of Satan. It's a wrap. Don't tell me about no black excellence. Don't tell me about black excellence. Let's continue.
We are African Americans. Whatever the expression of our melanin, we are black. I am black. I am you. Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Malcolm X are all considered foundational black Americans. They all, as well as many others, are considered, quote, mixed. Mixed? Mixed with what?
We are black.
We are descendants of the people who should be considered, or who should be acknowledged as those whose unpaid labor is the primary means building America's wealth. We are the unidentified America that has been locked away inside of America. The people whose contributions have been mined as most precious diamonds, and whose cultural capital and inventions have been stolen and then capitalized on by a wicked power structure and spread throughout a world who then looks back and asks,
Why can't these people get together?
we are a nation buried above ground, assigned many names while being nameless, and hidden from sight while always being visible.
Low expectations. A lack of standards breeds low expectations. The measurement for being black is just to be black. That's it. Imagine you having nothing to do with how you come out the womb, but then taking credit for it. Imagine you coming out the womb and you didn't earn any of how you came out, but you taking credit for it. You ever see those young ladies that, have, and I'm gonna say this too. Most women that get the BBL surgery, they got afflicted body. They bad built, i.e. Jasmine Crockett, and they bad, i.e. Glorilla. I like Glorilla, but she got a little funny build. But most women that get the surgery are bad built. But before they get the surgery, they act normal with their body. They show a normal amount of skin, and but when they get the surgery, now they want to show off. Now they want to stunt. Now they want to brag. Now they want to, it ain't real though. You're taking credit for something that you paid for. It's poor character. And it's the same poor character of you coming out the womb being black and taking credit for it. You didn't earn it. But guess what? You only care about earning when there's a standard. There's no standard in the black community. There's no standard. You just got to be black. The greatest sin in the black community is not harming a child. It's not harming the elderly. It's not stealing and killing. The greatest sin in the black community is for a black person to say they're not black. Think about everything that goes on in the black community, and then think about who they get the most upset at. They get the most upset at the people they believe don't want to be black. You just saw a whole stage full of light-skinned activists. I don't know if they pilgrims or what, are they black pilgrims? I don't know what, but a whole bunch of light-skinned Amish. I guess they black Amish or they Blamish. So you got a whole bunch of light-skinned Blamish talking about they oppressed. No standard. Now their whole goal is to prove their blackness. These are the same ones that going to date white people. These going to be the same ones that date others. They're going to be the same. Because black folks, listen, black folks will never accept some light-skinned Amish. They're not going to accept them. I can already tell they was they raised right. They probably exceptional in school. They ain't tatted up. They're probably respectful to adults. They're not gonna, black folks not gonna accept them. This little stage play don't mean nothing. Black people are not going to accept a whole bunch of light-skinned Amish people. They're not going to do it. I don't care if you talk about Malcolm X, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, power to the people. It don't matter. Black folks respect people that are stained. Black folks love degenerates and criminals, whoremongers, liars and thieves and killers. That's who black folks like. They don't like black omelets. They don't like black omelets either. They don't like black Amish. So they're doing all of this for who? White liberals. This ain't for black people, it's for white liberals. They're going to end up with white people. They're going to end up with white people. We've seen this 1,000 times. You got to be stained to be, what they call the word, ingratiated by black people. You can't come in there without blemish. That's why they hated Christ. They didn't hate Christ just for what he said. They hated Christ for the way he lived his life. Because a man can say one thing and do another. But when the man says it and his life matches up with it, he got to go. So they didn't just kill Christ for what he said. They killed him for how he lived his life. They killed him for the example he was setting. So who you want? Think about it now, for what I'm saying. They were put between picking Barabbas or Jesus. You can have the person that was the murderer, which is, that's his life. Or you could pick the man that you said he was God. He blasphemed. Now, this guy's life matches more with the quote-unquote blasphemy than this guy right here. This guy right here is a show enough killer that you all took to the Romans, that you all wanted up out of here. Now we get to Christ, and he says that he is one with the Father, and you all say that's blasphemy, you got to go. But what really got you upset, because he had been saying that, what really got you upset was beyond him saying it and beyond the miracles, is that when you looked and you went to go spy on him, you couldn't find any fault. When you asked around, well, did he steal from you? No. Well, did he borrow money from you? He didn't pay you back? No. Well, did you catch him drinking? No. Was he messing with a little kid? No. Was he fornicating? No. He got to go. He got to go. We can't find no fault in this. He got to go. See, if they had found fault with Christ, they wouldn't have touched him. If they would have found Christ somewhere tricking off, they'd have been so happy. Let him preach. If they had found Christ tricking off, let him preach. But when they went and they couldn't find any fault with him, oh, he got to go. Because you know what? The way he's living his life, if he ain't God in the flesh, he believes he is. He got to go. So I'm telling you now that black people are going to accept you on surface. But once they peek behind the curtain and they see you not like them, they're going to reject you. They're going to reject you. They're not going to accept you. Black people love stains and they love blemishes. Black folks love the story of the dude that sold 1,000 keys and now he's a pastor. That's what black folks like. Black folks don't like the person that didn't go that route and just fought the whole way through to get to where they were. Didn't sell their soul. That ain't the story black folks like. Black folks want a stained and blemished story so they can say, I ain't got to live up to Christ's standards because ain't nobody else doing it. Same with the Antichrist. Same with the Antichrist. You think the Antichrist is just going to show up without being challenged? I'm telling you now, the sign of the Antichrist being here is the amount of righteous people you're going to see speaking the word of God. That's how you're going to know. Because Satan's going to say in the end, they had a choice. Satan's going to say in the end and be right, I didn't make them do that. They had a choice. You're going to know it's the Antichrist is here when you're going to see actual righteous people preaching God's word. So again, there's no standard. And the standard that we set first.
Being retarded means leading.
And the standard that we set first has to come from God. The standard that we set first has to come from God.
You've never been a slave. You don't need to act like a victim. I know. Get over slavery. I want to tell all the black people here, slavery is not an excuse for the problems in your life. Oh, really? Then why do 70% of black males have a felony or felony arrest on their record? Explain this, Matt. Okay, why does 14% of the population, black people, commit 60% of the violent crimes?
Do you see the numbers?
What is that? Let me see what it is. Violent crimes. Type in violent crimes.
They were literally created to capture the slaves running away from slavery.
See, once again, why are you talking about slavery? It's 2024. Live in reality. I know. Whatever, 2025.
So as you see, you can't find somebody to talk to you about racism without mentioning slavery. You can't find somebody to talk to you about racism without mentioning slavery. They're arguing with this man and they're saying that the reason why things are the way they are in the black community is because of slavery. And slavery is not the reason. The reason is no standards. And if you have no standards, you have no expectations. There's no other race on the planet that says, all I got to do is stay black and die. No other group of people on the planet would utter such a statement. But black people say that. All I got to do is stay black and die. No expectations. No standards.
You've never been a slave. You don't need to act like a victim. I know. Get over slavery. I want to tell all the black people here, slavery is not an excuse for the problems in your life. Oh, really? Then why does 70% of black males have a felony or felony arrest on their record? Explain this, Matt. Okay, why does 14% of the population, black people, commit 60% of the violent crimes?
Do you see the numbers?
What let me see what it is. Violent crimes. Type in violent crimes.
They were literally created to capture the slaves running away from slavery.
See, once again, why are you talking about slavery? It's 2024. Live in reality. I know. Whatever, 2025.
I'm telling you all right now, you all are going to do your children a great disservice if you sit down with them and tell them about racism. If you are a true believer, you should not be separating racism from any other sin. Racism should not get its own special category, because the devil knows if you start separating sin, you're going to make certain sins more egregious than others when it's all sin. So in other words, what you'll do is you'll say, as long as they aren't racist, they're cool. As long as they aren't racist, they're cool. And this is what Satan wanted. Satan wanted you all to worship your skin so that you would put your skin before Christ. So now you don't go by the 10 Commandments. You go by who's racist. Take it a step further. You go by who is acknowledging their blackness and who is rejecting it. Standards.
Home surveillance video captures woman kicking small dog during argument.
You got a fucking gun. Get your dog. Oh, if I sure did. It's all right. Get it. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Listen, you all can say what you want to say. I'm telling you now, what is being stirred up among black people, I am telling you now, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to be in a situation and you're going to be around a lot of black people and you're going to look in their eyes and they're not going to be there anymore. And they're going to tell you that we have to come together and fight this. And if you disagree with them, they're going to kill you. There's going to come a time where you're going to be around some black people and they're going to have a look in their eye that they're gone. And they're going to be telling you that we need to come together to go defeat whatever it is, something white, something biblical, something godly. And if you disagree with them, if you don't follow them, they are going to kill you. So I'm letting you know now that it will behoove you to be around people that are truly of the body of Christ. Because in these days that are coming, when it's going to be lawless, I'm telling you now, you're going to want to be around people who at least respect God's laws.
Home surveillance video captures woman kicking small dog during argument.
I'm going to jail for her. Hold on, let me call I'm going to jail for no. I'm going to call the police. You got a fucking gun. Get your dog. Oh. Yes, I sure did. It's all right. Get it. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to jail.
Now, she kicked this dog. Now, if she doesn't get in trouble, then we know one of the signs of the apocalypse is if you don't get in trouble for hurting them dogs. So if she doesn't get in trouble for kicking that dog, we are truly in the last days. Because normally, kicking a dog that small, kicking that dog across the yard, you going to jail. White folks don't play that. White folks don't play kicking that dog to get the extra 3 points. They don't play that. So if she gets away with this, then it is truly the sign of the apocalypse. Doug said, just wear a hat a certain way or wear the wrong color and they're killing you today. What you mean? I guess you're right. We ain't even got to the apocalypse. We ain't even got to the end days. You're right, Doug. They doing it now. You're right. Kicked that helpless dog for no reason. But she kicked the dog because the guy's white. And the dog is white. It's really a double whammy. The man is white and he got 2 white dogs. So he getting kicked. And he got a truck. He's white. He got 2 white dogs. He got his own house and he got a truck. Or your dog getting kicked. Yeah. Because in a black person's mind, he has to be racist. His own home, a truck, 2 white dogs, and he's power washing his car. Oh yeah, he got to be racist. Dog getting kicked. Dog is getting kicked. Right. Neek said the white man starter pack. Orange said, and white soap. There's too many whites. There's too many whites. The white man, the house might be white, 2 white dogs, white soap, and a black truck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got to be racist. Somebody getting kicked. You or the dog. And he said one of them had a gun. He said one of them had a gun. That's why you're going to call the police. Listen to him.
I'm going to jail for her. Hold on, let me call I'm going to jail for no. I'm going to call the police. You got
Home surveillance video captures woman kicking small dog during argument.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to jail for her. Hold on, let me call I'm going to jail for no. I'm going to call the police. You got a fucking gun. Get your dog. Oh. Yes, I sure did. It's all right. Get it. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to
Kick that man's dog across the yard. You heard what he said, and y'all got a gun, I'm calling the police.
That picture, that's MSNBC's latest hire, their new addition to their weekend program in an overall studio. As black people, how long are we going to tolerate this? How many Joy Reids and now Boy Reids are we going to tolerate? Why have we allowed corporate media, legacy media, mainstream America to throw us into the Boy Reid lane? that in order to make it in legacy media, you got to be gay as a black man. How long are we going to tolerate this? And keeps the left there for us. We got to support the Democrats. Yas, queens. They're turning kings into queens. And we just keep accepting it and keep thinking they represent us and they're for us. No way. At some point, we got to snap out of it.
Now imagine, and I see somebody in the comments, he's obligatory, but imagine black people doing all this fussing and fighting all these years just for them liberals to tell y'all that now we done up the ante and now you got to be LGBTQ. Being black ain't good enough no more. Imagine black folks doing all this fussing and fighting, all this marching and protesting, all this rioting and looting, just to get to the front door, and the white liberals and Jewish liberals say, you know what, being black ain't good enough. You got to be black and LGBTQ. Think about that. Black folks did all of this just to have to, if they want to be a part of something, you got to join the LGBTQP, don't forget XYZ movement. And he talking about they can't tell me nothing. Everything about his life was created by white people. Everything. Cars, structure, sidewalks, houses, buildings, school systems, 24-hour Walmarts, grocery stores, parks to play in, museums, libraries. Everything about his life was structured by white people. And then he wakes up out of his bed, having done nothing in life, and he says, I ain't got to listen to them. That's how great America is. America is so great that a person cannot contribute at all and then go make demands. If he was in another country, he wouldn't speak like this. If he was in another country, do you think he'd be saying, they can't tell me nothing? Now, he can do it in a white country, but if it's a country of people of color, no, he won't. Be quiet as a church mouse. You know that most black folks are cowards, and I mean these black revolutionaries, because they never take their fight on the road. They only fight in home games. They only fight in home games in America with a controlled environment where they're going to let you protest, they're going to let you riot, they're going to let you loot. They never go to the countries where there's slavery at, right? Why don't you black people like Ultra, since y'all care so much, Ultra Instinct, take your show on the road and go to these countries that have slavery and go free the people? Since you claim y'all freed yourselves from slavery, go free the people in countries right now that have slavery. Take this show on the road. Why are y'all doing this in a controlled environment? Y'all tell me Farrakhan is a revolutionary, but he had a 1 million man march on government property twice. You mean to tell me the government let him have a 1 million man march twice? Take y'all show on the road. Go to the countries that have slavery right now and go fight for those people. You won't do it because you know if you go over there running your mouth, they're going to knock your head off. They're not going to play with you. They're going to knock your head off your shoulders and kick it around the town around the village. Y'all are a bunch of cowards. There's slavery going on right now, and you all are talking about slavery from 200 years ago. There's slavery going on right now in Africa, your motherland, Africa. I ain't seen one flight. Y'all going to the safe places. Y'all going to Ghana. Y'all going to the safe places. Nigeria. Go to where the turmoil is. Go to where the turmoil, go to where ain't no tourism at. That's what I thought. Bunch of cowards. Take this show on the road. You ain't seen near black person over there protesting and fighting for the Palestinians. You know why? Because the Palestinians will knock y'all head off. That's why. The same folks y'all over here fighting for right now, if you go over there getting involved, they're going to knock your head off. They wouldn't dare go to the Congo. They wouldn't dare go to the Congo. He talking about, I'm the original American. Then why you mad at white people? If you're the original American, then why are you mad at white people? What bliggity tribe are you from? Keisha, being for real, said they beheading people in certain parts of Africa for being Christians. Where the church folks at? Jamal and them. Thank you, Keisha, being for real. Dear Jamal Bryant, they are killing Christians in Africa right now, and you worry about Target. They are killing Christians in Africa right now, and Jamal Bryant is worried about Target. But then when I say the black man is weak, you get mad. Dear Jamal Bryant, your people in Africa are getting slaughtered for following the Bible, for believing in Jesus. And you're over here telling people that you want the children off the streets to come sell weed for the church. You want black folks to boycott Target. But in the motherland, your people, the body of Christ, are getting slaughtered. The black man is weak. I don't listen to y'all. Thank you, Keisha. Let's continue. Got time for one more video. We got time for one more. Oh. Maybe two more.
A shooting at a high school graduation today in Missouri.
No, didn't hear about it. These were the suspects involved in that shooting, though.
Did you know that last night, Saturday night, in Savannah, Georgia, there was a mass shooting where 10 people were shot?
Didn't hear about this one either. These were the suspects involved in that shooting. Noticing a pattern? If these guys were straight white men, all of us would have heard about these shootings. But your side, the left, has decided to demonize straight white men, so if somebody commits a crime that doesn't fit the category of a straight white man, none of us will hear about it.
This is for Ultra Instinct. I'm gonna play it again.
Did you know there was a shooting at a high school graduation today in Missouri?
No, didn't hear about it. These were the suspects involved in that shooting, though.
Did you know that last night, Saturday night, in Savannah, Georgia, there was a mass shooting where 10 people were shot?
Didn't hear about this one either. These were the suspects involved in that shooting. Noticing a pattern? If these guys were straight white men, all of us would have heard about these shootings. But your side, the left, has decided to demonize straight white men. So if somebody commits a crime that doesn't fit the category of a straight white man, none of us will hear about it.
The anti-white agenda.
When we make the argument and we want to bring race into the equation, we got to have it. We got to have the evidence. It can't be subliminal. It can't be something that's assumed. It can't be something that can that is rife with plausible deniability. We got to know it. Now, if you want to sit up there and say Trump had something to do with it, that's fine, because he's coming after them. He's coming after G. He's coming after.
You see, and this is what I mean by no standards. And this is what happens. When you make everything about race, you lose IQ. Your IQ gets lowered. You don't have critical thinking skills. Ultra Instinct just said, oh, you love the white man. They don't love you. Why you ain't talking about every school shooting? He don't even understand what the point of the video even was. The point of the video is that the media doesn't show every mass shooting. They only show one group of people doing mass shootings. That's the point of the video. But the first thing he said was what? You love the white man. Remember what I said? The number one sin in the black community is not murder. It's not hurting children. It's not hurting the elderly. It's not hurting the innocent. It's not lying. It's not cheating. It's not robbing. It's not any of that stuff. The number one sin in the black community is a person not identifying as black. So even the people that claim that they're indigenous, that claim they're not from Africa, they still have the black mindset and black spirit. You know why? Because they still hate white people. It's the same spirit. He doesn't even think about this. Think about how out of touch you got to be watching something every day and not realize they're only showing you one group of people getting shot by the police and one group of people doing mass shootings. You don't even see it. Imagine watching something every day and your mind is so reprobate and you are so dumbed down and so programmed, you don't even realize that, wait a minute, out of all these police shootings, it's only black people? It don't even cross his mind. You mean to tell me out of all these mass shootings, it's only white people? Doesn't even cross his mind. So even the indigenous, the FBAs, the Hebrew, it don't matter what they call it. They still got the same bliggity spirit. It's the same spirit. It's the same mind. It's the same spirit.
Mr. Brian Robbins for Comcast and their left-leaning.
Hold on.
And if you're going to support Joy Reid, the best way for you to do it was to make sure she didn't suffer a 47% drop in the ratings. See, we don't do that enough. And I'm speaking from personal experience, so I'm qualified to talk about this subject. Ladies and gentlemen, I will remind you that I had a show named Quite Frankly on ESPN2 from 2005 to 2007. I will remind you that it got canceled in 2007 after I did about 381 shows and I had about 785 guests. We didn't have enough viewers.
So notice, and again, black excellence is a myth. Because the moment Joy Reid got her show, and I told y'all this in the last video, I don't even know, he said that her ratings were down 47%. And I told you all that Joy Reid is not entertaining. All she does is talk about Trump and racism. That's only good for the first couple of weeks. People get tired of hearing it. because most folks know it's not even true. But Joy Reid's show was down 47% viewership. You can't justify her being on the air. Now listen, you can have her on the air, but the problem is folks are going to say, well, clearly she's a DEI hire. Her show sucks, and she still got a primetime spot. Why does she have the spot if her show was terrible? Black woman, that's it. So to Ultra Instinct, it's called black privilege. So Stephen A. Smith, I don't agree with him most times. What he said is, if you really cared about Joy Reid getting let go from MSNBC, then you all would have made sure that you watched her show. Y'all didn't even watch her show. Black folks didn't even watch the show. Just like women talking about WNBA, and don't watch any of the games. Same thing. The bar is low in the black community because of people like Ultra Instinct, because of people like Joy Reid, because of people like Stephen A. Smith, because of people like Barack Obama. The bar is low because of most black mothers and fathers. The bar is low because the only standard is to be black. It's not to be righteous. It's not to be God-fearing. It's not to be Christ-like. It's just to be black. That's not a standard. It's not a standard. And then the chat said 2 black people replaced her. Good luck. Everybody knows, before I leave, that racism is not real. Now, are there people that are racist? Yeah. Is there a system of racism? No. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Idris Singleton, thank you so much, sir. Again, thank you for the super sticker. Cruise Missile, thank you so much. Always supporting. Thank you so much. Vintage Goods Willie, crazy of the crimes blacks commit against others. Are they obligated to future generations to said family reparations? You're right. Think about all the crime that black people commit against other races, and think about, will they be compensated in the future? Because the numbers are there. Think about the amount of crime that black people commit against other groups of people, targeting them, and then ask, do they get compensated? I know in California, Asians get targeted because they keep cash in the home and they also work in the community. They get targeted. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie. Miss Q, yep. Then black people protesting my restaurant tomorrow. I'm so over black people, I think once they got the jab, they can't think no more. Hold on, Miss Q. They doing what? Well, listen, she said a mouthful right there. Let me just read it again. Yeah, them black people are protesting my restaurant tomorrow. I'm so over black people, I think once they got the jab, they can't think anymore. I agree 1,000% with that jab. And like I said, that jab put them over the edge. It's a wrap. Protesting your restaurant for what, though? That's crazy. But again, you know, I know Ultra Instinct, you come a dime a dozen. Y'all have a hive mind. Hold on. So because you voted for Trump, they want to protest your restaurant? And here goes Ultra Instinct. Nothing to say about it. Nothing. Ultra Instinct focused on white people, and black people about to protest at Miss Q's restaurant for no reason. Because she didn't want Kamala Cackling Harris in office. She didn't want communist Kamala in office. And Ultra Instinct is focused on white people. If I go through the list of the greatest threats to black people, tell me where white people fall into it. The first greatest threat to black people is the lack of male leadership. Whose fault is that? The first detriment to the black community is the lack of male leadership. Whose fault is that? The second is the abortion rate. Let me rewind. The first detriment to black people is black culture. That's number one. Then it goes to male leadership. Then it goes to the matriarchy. Then it goes to the violence. Then it goes to abortions. Then it goes to the literacy rate. Then it goes to the health. I done went through a list of things, and none of them involve white people. So how are y'all getting to white people without addressing those previous 8 things? How are y'all skipping over all of that to talk about white people? I'll tell you why, because y'all a bunch of cowards. And you want to protest Miss Q instead of being upset of how you've been tricked by this system. And when I say system, I mean i.e. liberals, i.e. communists, i.e. Marxists, i.e. globalists. I'm going to pray for you, Miss Q, and I want y'all to pray for her as well, you all, because it's just atrocious. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. There has to be a standard, and the man is supposed to set the standard. So the ultimate reason why the black community is the way it is because a long time ago, men decided that being a man was optional. Black men went from being the face of what it meant to be a man to now being the face of the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z movement. How did black men go from my grandfather to now being the face of the trans agenda? I'll tell you why. Because they let go of the standard. That's why. So if you want to get mad at somebody, before you get to Trump and Elon Musk, go look at these black men. Go look at these black men that you see that have led y'all astray. Oh, tomorrow is the boycott day, the last day of February. Tomorrow is the boycott day. Good. Maybe it'll be less traffic. Please, bliggities, when y'all boycott tomorrow, matter of fact, I thank y'all. Hopefully it'll be less traffic. So y'all shouldn't be buying nothing tomorrow. If I got that clear. You bliggities shouldn't be buying nothing tomorrow, and the street should be no traffic. Good. Thank y'all. Matter of fact, do it every Friday. Don't stop here. Do it every Friday so we can have some traffic-free days. Please. Not shopping. Please. Now, y'all know, man, please. Listen, I love y'all. And I will see y'all. Y'all see y'all shopping tomorrow, huh? I love y'all, and I will see you all on Saturday. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all.